My name is Katherine Book. I am a first-year biochemistry major at Georgia Tech. I've been in SOS for 4 years, almost 5 years now, and I originally joined for the opportunity to travel abroad. In SOS, I personally strive to become more in tune with the community, both in San Antonio and in the world. SOS has 3 founding pillars: learn, serve, explore. So the idea with that is that participants learn about the community that they're in and how they can get involved, and then they go on to serve in that community through community service, through various projects that SOS offers throughout the year. And then finally, they have the opportunity to go experience a different community through traveling abroad. And then they can make connections and then grow in as an individual because of that. SOS really inspires to create global citizens in students who are 12 to 18 years old. That way, they can learn about these values like community service, leadership, honesty, self-awareness, and then learn about them in the field. And then as they grow, they can apply them to their college experiences, their career, and everything else to make the community a better place. Summer service truly impacted the course of my life. As an incoming 9th grader, I didn't really know what I was going to do. I just knew that I liked science, I liked STEM, but I didn't really know what I could do with those besides becoming a doctor or becoming a nurse. So for the longest time, I was just pre-med, and I didn't really know what I was going to do with that. And then I joined SOS and I started volunteering with them. I started traveling with them, and I learned about the community and I learned about the global community. Particularly 2 trips that I went on, they were student ambassador trips, and we met with officials from our sister cities, both in Japan and in Germany. And that helped me realize that I have a passion for international relations and that I want to incorporate that into my career. So as a college student now, I'm still pre-med, but I now have an actual purpose of why I'm studying medicine. I want to either join Doctors Without Borders once I become that professional, or maybe even join the World Health Organization, all in the name of helping the global community. In SOS, we do a lot of different projects that range from small ones to really big ones. We do a lot of drives so that can be like a book drive, which actually I helped organize my own book drive through a Make It Happen project, which is where a student focuses on one issue and then helps manage that entire project for a month or however long it'll take. We also do other general volunteering, like going to the food bank. We do a yearly event, an annual event called Basura Bash, where we go and clean up trash in the community just to make it look better. All of these different projects that you can work on, they're all mostly student-led, or mostly they're students who are actually doing the projects. So you go, and there's kids from middle school, there's kids from high school, and they're all good kids. They're all kids who want to help the community. And so it's just a really positive environment because everyone truly wants to participate in this, and everyone is really heartfelt about everything. So it's a really nice atmosphere to volunteer in, and it's really good for making friends. I've made so many friends through SOS. SOS really does travel a lot. Travel or explore is one of the 3 mottos, or the 3 founding pillars, so it does make sense that there will be a lot of different opportunities to travel. Personally, I've been on 3 separate trips. I've been to Australia and New Zealand, I went on a student ambassador trip to Japan, and I went on a student ambassador trip to Germany. But SOS as an organization has been to 15 different countries, as well as several cities within the United States for the Sister Cities program. The traveling with SOS is really different because SOS strives to go one step further than just being a tourist. You can obviously see that through the student ambassador programs. We interact with a lot of the community within those countries who we have sister cities with, which can be we get personal tours, we get to meet officials from those cities, and then in Japan we actually had a host day with some people who were living in there and who we got to meet and stay with for a long time, which was really cool. But also, just on the other trips, like the Australia-New Zealand trip I went on, even though we were technically touring the countries, it still was a step further than just being a tourist, because we got to learn about the culture a little bit, and we learned about their history, and we really made an effort to be able to be exposed to that. So SOS really makes it a point to make sure that we understand the significance of the places that we're going to and learn about their history before, going to that country, or just being like, we're in another country. Cool. So it's a really more significant way of traveling, and it's also good because you're traveling with other students, and so you get to experience those culturally rich different cultures and different societies through other students, which is really fun. Out of all the countries that I've been to, it's really hard to pick one specific one that I think was most memorable or like the best one, because each trip has different experiences and there's different like specific parts that you remember that makes each trip unique. It's very humbling to experience a different culture than the one you're used to. SOS trips, you go in and you come out as a different person, which is not necessarily a bad thing, but you don't necessarily expect it, and it's you grow so much as a person. If you're trying to decide whether you want to join summer service, I will warn you that it will change your life, which sounds scary, but I promise it's good. It's such a good change. You don't even have to travel with SOS for it to impact your life. You don't have to travel abroad to reap the benefits of this organization. You just need to volunteer with the organization, because then you'll be introduced to other people and you'll make connections. And SOS is really good about introducing students to significant people who they can teach you something. Maybe it might not be in the form of a lesson, but it's in the form of like everyday values and such, which is something that is really hard to come by if you're just never exposed to it. So you make significant connections, and then you get the chance to meet other students who are just like you. They have a passion for helping out the community, and they're good kids. They're such good kids, and even though we're from all different backgrounds, we're from all over San Antonio, we all have this one particular goal that we have in mind, and that is helping our community. If you want to meet other students who are just like you around San Antonio, who have a passion for working with the community, who have a passion for traveling abroad, this is really an organization to do that. And it's such a good organization, and I encourage you to do so. Thank you for letting me be an interviewee.